Hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of
The Filmmakers Podcast.
This is a podcast where we talk
Filmmaking.
from indie films to studio films and
Everything in between.
how to get them made, how to make them, and how to try not to
Royally
F
F them up.
in a very, very
humble opinion.
mystery
voice.
That mystery voice. Who could this possibly be? I am Giles Alderson, a writer-director. I've just got back from Bulgaria. Woohoo! You are?
Phil Hawkins.
Who is?
Director. Why is this so... By the way, you've not sped up on your podcast.
No.
Killed this intro.
We've got 2 minutes left to record this. So, yeah.
So we're doing it really fast.
Kill the intro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What do you do, Phil?
So, I'm a director.
Yes, and you are?
Director as well. Just got back from Toronto International Film Festival and Safari.
Woohoo! What's your name?
Dom Lenoir.
Hey! And joining us on this week, I'm going to slow it right down now and do radio voice, is the amazing actor. He's not only starred in James Bond, but also a TV show back in the 90s called Peak Practice. This is a
He's going to have all these
And that's
credits.
when he peaked.
Hang on. And
Throwback.
Prancer, A Christmas
And
Tale.
wait,
Thank
I
you
haven't got
very
there
much.
yet. And he's also starred in Phil's fantastic movie, Prancer, A Christmas
Where he
Tale.
plays the reindeer.
Yes. It is the amazing Joseph Millson. Hello, buddy.
Hi.
Hey, hello. He is here to talk about his amazing film, Signs of Life, which is doing a cinema tour right now and is out on October the 9th on digital.
Or the 6th even, absolutely.
Or
Yeah.
the 6th.
You just went upside down.
Even.
Yeah.
Something's out on the night.
Something's out
Yeah,
on
it'll
the
be out in
night.
October.
We are here to talk about that film, and we're going to dive straight into it.
Make a cup of tea. It's a good one.
Right, there we go.
I couldn't bring myself to King of the Castle.
Pick up that mic.
Hello. 1, 2,
Oh,
1,
Jesus,
2.
That's so loud. That's so loud. Wait, you're on one.
This is one mic. This is
turning
one
you
mic.
down. Turning you down.
I've got a big voice and I'll get very excited.
Someone's going to have to
Alright,
edit
John.
this fucking thing.
Phil won't give me the mic.
Give me-
Is there any other cushions kicking around?
Have a little touch.
You can have a good
Oh, thank you. Well, not bad, but
I've got something
but
called
I'm-
posture.
I like to frame it as I'm. Oh no! Well, give it to
We
Phil.
can have a joint.
Why don't you
cushion.
swap? Yeah, look, you have this big
Oh,
bad
Big bad boy.
Oh,
Okay.
joint. No, you won't quite make the
It's all
joint.
No, I think
No.
that works. Yeah, that works. Yeah.
That works.
No, I don't. It's not a bad back anymore. It's actually just lack of mobility that I'm long working on.
Also, probably jet lag to health.
Jet lag. Well, weirdly, I had all the jet lag on the way out, not on the way back.
Is that a thing?
Which is. I mean, it was
Oh my
epic.
God,
It
pillow
was-
for
it
me.
was-
Did you go
Thank
out
you.
for a reason or just to get out?
To meet American producers.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, who needs a reason?
Yeah, to be fair, it's just...
Like, you went to the American Americas.
yeah, I went to Toronto. Yeah.
Hello, 1, 2. No,
There you go,
no
you're good.
initiative.
Joseph,
Biggity boggity.
can you say 1, 2?
1, 2,
What? Oh.
3, 4.
What's happening to
7,
you?
8.
Don't need to hear him.
Go on, speak some more.
Bibbity bobbity.
As long as we're
There's a
audible.
man pop
Nothing.
in the loop.
I think.
Nothing.
I don't think it's
It's
turned
not
on,
switched
mate.
on.
It's like
Right,
the
imagine
two
that.
smoothest voices.
There you go.
Hey! now we're cooking.
Who knew how to do a
Who
podcast?
is this boy?
Not
You
me.
guys have got good podcast voices.
Have we?
We've-
Oh, yeah.
We've learned to have good
Dom Lenoir,
voices.
the Filmmakers
I
Podcast.
rely on filtering.
Vegan doodahs.
Oh, vegan.
Oh, vegan
Nice.
doodahs.
What's a
Look at it.
doodah?
Well, you know the little, what are
Made
they
with
called?
real-
the little,
real doodah.
you know, Italian cafe di nata.
Oh, so it's like a
thingies.
little bready type.
You know, these custard tart.
Oh,
but
is it? Mate, look at. Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Oh,
Social-
I'm going to bite into mine as well.
Mm.
Oh, you got 2 there.
Oh,
But
what-
I'm pleased to see you do that. That's wicked.
I literally put 2 together. I didn't know. I thought it was supposed to look like that.
There's
It's like
one
a-
left.
It's like those.
There's one left now.
You know those.
Thanks, Giles.
Have my extreme sugar.
You can
bit.
have some of that. But just wait. There you
Take
go.
the clean end. That feels like, oh, hello. Amazing.
Take the clean end.
We're not recording, right?
Yeah, of course we are.
Of course we are.
Cut that one out.
This was the best bit.
Cut that one out.
So wait, in the bag,
It's
Dom,
Phil that said it.
I found this. It said the Thursday Murder Club. It's a biscuit.
Oh yeah.
How long's it been in the bag? When did you record that episode?
That was Connor and Francis.
Oh yeah.
So a little while.
New kids in town.
It'll be all right.
No.
Look at it. There's more.
Apparently, there is some lovely merchandise that the dynamic duo have left behind for us. So yeah, they've been doing a good job.
Are they as old
Yes.
as the cast in the films?
Are they old as?
the cast in that
Old as an elephant.
Old as an elephant.
Which I saw on Safari recently.
Yay.
Sorry, I'm not even.
Bringing it back round. You're not even mic'd up. Now you're mic'd.
No, sorry, yeah. Are we
Wait,
going?
Yes, you bought me a drink, which is really nice
Thank
of you.
you,
Where
Phil.
is
Yeah,
it?
you bought me one as well.
Is that mine?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Is it
Lemonade, and
Lemonade.
you
I
didn't want
one.
anything. There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
I don't do liquids.
Phil, you told me that was his
I'm
drink.
just the PR guy right now. I just serve the drinks.
No idea.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to look at my watch.
Can you go?
And if anyone's mean to I'm here for Joe,
My
okay?
agent.
If anyone's mean to Joe, I'm going to give you that stern eye.
Can I have some cucumbers for my eyes while we're so we look fresh
That's for the pink eye.
fresh for the Q&A.
So,
Oh, from Tiff.
Oh,
Jesus.
Wow. Can't cut that out now.
So-
Gonna have to
Are we going?
Yes. Let's do a
Crap.
throwback
Wow.
to that later.
my family-friendly
Oh God.
Yeah,
image is being
images
Single
destroyed.
Cat Phil, not anymore.
Yeah.
destroyed.
Kids.
Where do you go from there?
Well,
Well,
thanks for coming. Watch Sons of
well,
Well, thanks for listening. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday.
They've all gone home.
This is the Filmmakers Podcast. If you didn't know,
I knew.
did you know?
I knew.
I had no
No
fucking
idea.
idea.
Everyone in this room knew.
I was coming
Yeah.
to a Thursday Murder Club fan club.
This is what happens with there's more than two hosts.
But it's
Yeah,
true.
I
But
know.
Chaos.
it's chaos. But you have brought me a vegan custard sliced
Del Nata.
tart,
Yeah.
and who doesn't love a tart?
Mm.
Right? Amazing. Thank you. But we're not here to talk about tarts or Dom's pink eye in Tiff.
Red Eye Flight.
Red Eye Flight. So sorry.
Red Eye
Very
Flight.
different
A
thing.
very different thing. But we're here to talk about your amazing movie, Joseph Millson. Welcome to the Filmmakers Podcast. Officially, this is officially your first time.
Yes.
Wow. If
Is it underwhelming considering
No,
you've
it's-
listened to it
I'm
all?
It's quite a dark-
Actually, genuinely starstruck.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Quite a
am.
darkened room here.
Weirdly, the stars on the roof right
I
now,
know.
so that
You-
could be it.
I listen to it that much that I'm aware I've spotted how it's in the last 6 months.
That it's got
almost
really
every
good.
other one, basically any that aren't the mega stars that you talk to.
Yeah.
They're all going, man, I love your podcast. Anyone who's making anyone where it's basically anything that says low budget indie, they're all going, oh, fuck hell, I couldn't survive without your podcast.
With a
But I
smartness
have listened
of
to at
independent
least
podcasting.
300. I basically don't really listen to the posh ones because I'm like, well, that's out of my league.
Well,
No, I don't. I do.
No, that
do.
that is
I do,
Yeah,
but
you
not
do.
as much as I devour
The ones
other
that are
ones.
made
This
for under
is a
100
big bone
grand.
of contention because
Yeah.
I'm really like my philosophy is like obviously indie filmmakers have a lot to say and everything
Especially
they've gone
Dom.
through
So do the others.
is very
They're
valid.
filmmakers.
But everyone that got up to the Oscar level has gone through the indie
Of course
process
they have. Exactly.
and more. So it's like
Yeah.
you get the same journey.
But
and
the problem is, you so often only get 20 minutes.
I
with
know,
these
I know.
amazing
Yes,
people.
yeah,
so
you
it
do.
gets tricky
You
to
guys have
talk
got 10
about their.
left with him. So
Yes.
we can
Yeah,
hurry up.
exactly. Yeah, no, my,
yeah, PR ladies like waving a hand around. We're going to wrap this up.
Oh, speaking of which, we are in All Is Joy right now. Thank you so much to All Is Joy and Eon and everyone here
What a
for,
joy.
for letting us use their space
Yeah,
to
very
record
nice.
this in person for the first time for me for ages.
Yeah,
So
well, shout
watching
out
on-
to Eric the editor, or Ulrich the Unready, as he's also known, who's a friend of mine from 101
amazing.
days that moved over to All Is Joy and is
Ah.
one of the wonderful connections to this place.
I love that. We're here tonight for a screening. We're here today for a screening.
Yeah, which Phil's going to attend,
I am.
of Mark Hampton's film.
Yes.
Unlicensed, which Phil's already seen, but he wants to
I've
see
seen
again.
it and given notes.
He's desperate to see it again.
But we're here to talk about Signs of Life,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is Joseph's film, which is his debut movie as a director and as a writer.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely incredible. The feedback that you've had has been incredible, not just from me.
No.
No,
but from the speaker.
from the speaker of the board, but from so many people giving you so much love for this film, and rightly so, because it really is an incredible movie. You've really got to the heart of what you were trying to say, I feel. And you spent so much time developing it and thinking about it and thinking of how you could make this as a movie.
You can't, can't teach this kind of amateur behavior.
Tell us, we're running a podcast apparently. It's amateur shite. Right, let's look, because it's great to dive into this and it's amazing. It's literally doing its cinema run now.
Yes.
Correct.
We're up to 20 cinemas, which is
amazing.
incredible.
And I wasn't hired for this cinema run, despite my amazing track record of
Good
hosting
Lord.
cinema runs. That's outrageous.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
Outrageous. If I'd known, I might not have shown today.
And
But congratulations!
but-
It's actually
Yeah.
very hard to get 20
Yeah.
cinemas
Yeah.
in the UK
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Absolutely.
and to fill them out.
yeah.
Well, I don't know about filling them out.
But you've got them.
But you've got them, and no one
we have
cares.
here and there.
It's
I
yours
went-
to fail.
I went up to Chester on Saturday to do a Q&A, and there were
Did you
no
see the
mates
cat?
in the audience. It was just the cinema and a Q&A, and it was about 85%. It was amazing. They were real people, and
Not-
lots
not
of real
the cat.
people.
No, I
watching
mean,
it everywhere.
not AI.
We were
people,
very
but
much
real.
helped by the lovely Mark Kermode, who is not a pal or not a thing. And
Wow.
it was that funny thing when someone 4 days before his review came out, someone said, "Oh, he's definitely reviewing it this week." And of course, my first response was, "Oh, and fantastic!" Then I went to a toilet somewhere and went, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens in
This
toilets.
could go either way. And also, I realised that I'd kind of built a lot of my own taste. I've just been listening to him since he was on Radio 5 or whatever.
Radio 1, I think,
yeah, Radio 1, wherever.
Mm.
And about 88% of the time, I've chimed completely. So unbeknownst to me, this total non-person I thought, if he doesn't like my film, but he sort of co-wrote it because he's been part of my development of my taste. So the concept of him not liking it was like, I'll have to roll with it if it happens.
I hope
But
you told him that
I
in
can't-
advance.
I met him the next week.
Oh.
Oh, did you?
And I
Great.
did give him a little bit of this,
Yeah.
and he said, "Oh, I'll get that lot."
Yeah.
But
can imagine, yeah.
he it wasn't just an okay review. He went a bit bananas.
He
Like
did.
It was
film of the week, and
it was it was a great
you know,
review
wow,
and well deserved. I mean,
But
we're all
the
you know,
best
mates
thing-
here saying like,
No,
"Oh,
of
our
course.
mates made a great film,"
Mhm.
but genuinely, genuinely is.
In this case, they did.
And I think we really need to deep dive into the journey of this because
Yeah, yeah.
it's a real. I find it inspiring that what you did, and it's your first film, not your first rodeo, obviously,
No.
because you're very successful as an actor,
Yeah.
but like as a filmmaker to make your first feature film
Yeah.
and head to basically theatrical release and a totally independently financed movie and get a review like that from Kermode is like,
It's a dream. It's a
please
dream.
tell us how you do
Best
it.
bit was he didn't mention the budget.
Well,
That's what I like most
Yes.
about them. He didn't say it's good for the money.
Well,
He
I'm
just
asking,
judged it
I'm
as a
asking
film.
what the budget is.
Well,
Don't
my
tell me.
co-producer, who was my composer as well, and sort of my fairy godmother, which is an amazing story in itself, Anne Dudley, she gets very cross with me because I like talking about the budget. Because my heroes are the Duplass brothers,
Mhm.
who are just all these people who made these films as credit card movies, you
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
And who are going back to doing that. They've just done the Baltimoreans, which is, I think they've gone back to the kind of budget they haven't done for 15 years or something.
Because they're so pissed off with
Yeah.
how it's not
It's
working for them.
fantastic.
Like, yeah,
So
we're going to go back. to
I'm
how
going to
it's
upset
been.
Pepper
Anne
is not
Dudley
coming.
and probably my sales agents because I think a film's budget is not a film's worth.
yeah.
Yes.
They're very different things.
Totally.
But and with all respect,
Yeah.
this isn't a film that is a genre piece to sell, right? It's
No.
not a market piece.
No.
It's not like, don't tell me we spent 9 million because we want to sell it for 20 to Netflix
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
This is a movie that has grassroots growing. You've grown it. You've put the work in. You've done the Q&As
Yeah.
and also made a beautiful movie that is hopefully going to find its audience.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
it
what
already
it is.
is.
A word of mouth
Yes.
film, actually.
Yeah. So value, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get him to convince him to tell us a figure. So value,
You're doing well.
it doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
particularly
No,
in terms
I
of the
agree.
market.
I
I
agree.
suppose.
But it matters to our inquisitiveness.
Yeah.
And
well,
our amazing
it
audience.
Was, it was in the can
Go on.
for the price of a second-hand car.
Which
5,000.
second-hand car, though?
Exactly, you see.
Right.
No,
I bought my
okay, sorry, Anne
Aston
Dudley.
Martin.
I'm really
Yeah.
sorry, Anne Dudley. So it was in the can for 34.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
And by the end of post, it was 50.
£50,000.
Yeah.
Well, that's a range you can do it. If it's like your first feature and you're a charismatic person and you get a good team together and you like really work hard,
You eat
that
that
50
cake.
to 100 range is like the new range that used to be like the SCIS 150k range.
Yes.
It's doable. Like as you can only do it once. You can't do that again. You can't get the crew. You can't get the cast. But if you work hard, people will back you and you can make it happen.
I'm here as a bit of an evangelist for this budget film, and I disagree politely, and I'm actually going around persuading agents of amazing actors that this is an investment they should make. They let their actors go and do the Donmar Warehouse Theatre for £350 a week and a bag of chips every now and then, and it takes 7 or 8 weeks of their life, and it's an investment in their art. I think great scripts, agents at the big agencies, I'm talking to mine, I have a posh agent, and he represented my lead actor, and he loved the script, and I haggled, but I still had to haggle with him like I would with any agent's client. I said, look, you get real back end. If you keep the budget south of 100, maybe even less, the back end actually becomes something.
It does. Very true.
Once you've sold in 3 territories, and they will keep getting, 5 points of the film your actor instead of, but everyone got paid in our film, union minimum rates.
Mm-hmm.
But if I started to make films, I wanted to make films and be treated the way I like to be treated. So the deal was you got paid in advance. Once we had the budget, they were paid. My cast and crew were paid 4 weeks before we turned over.
Wow. Right.
That's how much I trusted them
I
to
know,
turn up. As well.
They don't turn up.
And we were organised to the point of madness by one line producer, which was also me. And we wrapped early, 17 days out of 18. And the food was fantastic, made by my mum.
That's important.
Yeah.
And it was, and it was 3 weeks in Lanzarote, which did help.
That is a big selling point as well.
It was.
Do a film in somewhere that's stunning and it's not rainy, shitty England. And you've immediately got like a real hook that will excite a lot of people.
I think that's why it's inspiring for me, because I speak to a lot of filmmakers that are on their 27th short film, and they're going into and I'm not even exaggerating, and some of them have success with public funding, and I'm like, why? What is the 28th going to do for you?
Yeah.
Okay, go make the feature film.
I couldn't agree more.
I had a Zoom with someone the other day who I said, why are you doing this? Turn this into a feature film, and they're actually going to do the feature film now. But what this is inspiring because, no public funding, don't even bother,
I can talk to you about the money as well, happily. But it is coming around. So there's a very good director, Matthew Hope, who directed, The Veteran with Toby Kebbell, Brian Cox.
Yeah, amazing.
And All the Devil's Men with various lovely actors. And that's where I met him. He is a good director, used to working in the sort of £3 to £5 million film range, where you get John Malkovich for 3 days, but it's, a £3 million film. And with COVID and whatever, he saw me making Signs of Life and was like, good luck, and gave me £100 in the Kickstarter. And it was lovely. And then he watched it and went, he said, I'm actively jealous that you've done this. It's not genre, it's just a drama, and you've managed to get it made. And then I haven't been behind a camera for 8 years because projects keep nearly happening, not quite happening. A world you must know. And so I said to him, well, why don't you I joked, and I said, well, write something he's a bit of a conspiracy theorist, is Matthew Hope, he won't mind me saying. I said, write something about some conspiracy theorist stuck in a van with a gun and, whatever. Just do.
You gave him
And
hope.
a script arrived. He sent me this script, and we rewrote it together. We polished it up together. And then he begged, stole and borrowed even less than I made mine. And he's a really brilliant, experienced movie director. Mm-hmm. And last year we shot a film called Empire of Lies.
Oh, yeah.
And it's finished. It's got its festival premiere in a month. And he said it has rejuvenated him. He feels completely reborn. And this was like it was my same DOP. I got him my DOP and cast and crew of 7 or 8 people. And this is a 50-year-old man who went, oh my God, I feel completely reborn. And I said, it doesn't take away going back to doing your £5 million films. You've just had one for you,
Yeah, but it's quite interesting that because it
might make money. This one's a thriller, so
this is what you were saying in the first place here. But at that level and anything below 100, you can actually turn a profit.
In theory, it might take 2 years, but you probably will.
You can. Well, I don't know. I mean,
in
this case, it sounds like it is doing exceptionally well.
Yeah,
I would say as the other side of that, there are a lot of people that have made this sort of budget level or slightly higher. They don't have big casts. And it never gets past the sales agent.
But it does need to be very good. It needs to be good.
I know it does, but even then, sometimes you get amazing reviews.
But do you know what? At least you're only 50 grand in debt.
True.
Not 100, not 500. And also with me, more importantly, you can be on a set without the pressure of people breathing down your neck. Because my theory for this, I only directed it originally because I could not afford a director.
Yeah.
So I was like, look, this is such an odd film that trying to explain it to director in the first place is so weird. My nephew and I have been making films together since he was 9 years old. He's my DOP. He shot this when he was 21. He's been a DOP since he was 8. I know that sounds ridiculous, but he actually has.
Makes sense.
It's crazy. He didn't go to school. My brother,
home
educated.
Wow.
And literally, he didn't learn to read till he learned to read so he could read a camera manual.
Wow.
He learnt maths so he could do focal lengths. He has been a cameraman all his life. Anyway, and I used to voice all his animations, and so we have a sort of sixth sense. I knew I'd be all right with him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did storyboard, but God bless him. They're not very good.
Same as mine. Mine are terrible.
Yeah.
Everyone mocked me on set.
But I think that's the main thing. If you're gonna, that you actually get
things.
freedom. The lower the budget. Somebody once said to me, the higher up the tree you go, the more monkeys shit on your head.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think the freedom is what is worth its weight in gold. So yes, the risk is smaller, but the freedom's greater. So the equation for either new filmmakers or frustrated filmmakers,
I think
is huge.
That's what you're saying, and it's so important there that just because we do maybe rise up a little bit, but then we struggle when we get to that next step, doesn't mean you can't go back down and do
linear.
a short. It's so
go
true.
like
go
that.
wherever you want, and no one's judging you or questioning you. You're filmmakers. Go make shit, make stuff happen.
Yeah.
Let's talk about why this story. Let's talk about the writing process for this, because you did write it.
Yeah.
You've always written anyway. You've written stuff in the past that maybe hasn't got made. What was it with this that you went, this is what I'm going to direct. This is what I'm going to do. Tell us the story.
Okay, I don't know
why.
what I believe in, but there was a bit of mystical woo-woo involved at some point, because the silver linings of lockdown. I mean, so Sarah Jane Potts, who stars in this film, incredible actress, was at the time we made the film my wife. She's not anymore, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Signs of wife.
Signs of strife.
You both did one.
Wait, hang on. I've been out-punned.
Yeah.
What's just happened?
No,
I don't know. I feel like it was an addition to.
In addition to.
I actually have a cowbell at home every time Dom
it's
does one when I'm listening.
I know.
It's like when you go around in a circle.
Did you hear that, Dom?
I have a cowbell at home. I hit when you do one of your things.
Me
It's
too.
brilliant.
Man groans.
Long story short, sort of COVID-y time, Sarah Jane, I think she wouldn't mind me saying, doesn't sort of call herself a writer. I've always written poetry and weird stuff. It just plops out every few weeks.
Toilet again.
Toilet humour.
But Sarah Jane did. She had one of those early filming jobs out of lockdown. She was doing a TV job in Budapest, where it was when they were like, Nazi hotel police, like, you're on set, get back in your room, do not come out of your room. She was like locked in this room in Budapest for 6 weeks, and she came back with sort of an A4 kind of thing, this weird thing. She said, I wrote this, what is it? And I said, I think it's a short film. It wasn't sort of formatted like a film, really. And anyway, I said, and what's more, you're going to make it, you're going to direct it. What? Anyway, we made this short film. She directed it and wrote it and was in it, called The Magician. If you go on YouTube, The Magician 4K. Otherwise, you just get Paul Daniels and stuff. And it was beautiful. We made
Paul
it.
Daniels.
Yeah, we made it for about £400, but and it was just friends and family and great food by my mum. But a beautiful little script. And Elliot shot it, who was 18 when he made that one.
That's your nephew again.
Yeah, my nephew, Elliot Millson, ladies and gentlemen, who's now already 3 features into his life. He's amazing. But and then I went, we've got a thing. I got into like, what are film festivals all about? So we entered it all over the place. Funnily enough, Toronto, and it won Best Short at the TIFF for female film directors. What's it called? The Female Eye, which has been going 25
Pink
years.
Eye.
Pink Eye. The female Pink Eye. Oh, that sounds wrong.
I've brought it back.
Anyway,
we made
this.
Track.
I'm keeping on track because I'm trying to do a long story short.
No, it's great.
We made one short film. It was beautiful, and the themes were kindness and people in grief and all that. Then I started
and
a
also
master's.
No dialogue. Yeah,
importantly.
so just
the character in it isn't mute.
Yeah.
But it just so happens there's no dialogue. It's beautiful. It's like a little Beckett play.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Anyway, lockdown, the silver linings, aside from people dying and having a weird time and us creatives having no furlough, I started foolishly a master's degree in screenwriting online at Falmouth Uni as something to do and like to make use of the time.
Yep.
And it was wonderful. And the first short I wrote on that, we dared ourselves to make. We're like, well, we made this, but I wrote a short called Care, which is on YouTube, Care 4K. But it had, I wanted to have posh, I wanted, as it were, proper posh actors.
Yeah.
So I had to raise a bit of money because I wanted Michael Maloney to be in it, who's my heartthrob, and Michael Begley.
He did
heartthrob. He's my
I had heartthrob.
He's my heartthrob.
Yeah.
And Anyway, we made this short. It was wonderful. And then, to long story short, getting near the end of the master's degree.
It's a long story long, really. Let's be honest here. Yeah.
I'm enjoying.
no
I'm
idea
with
how
you,
long the
Joe.
long
Come on,
version
Joe.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
No,
with
this
you,
is
Joe.
good. Keep going.
So I'm getting near the end of the MA. I have to write a feature. And honestly, I woke up one morning and I woke up and wrote a page of A4 that was basically the lead character of my short film and the lead character of Sarah Jane's short film had artistically had weird woo-woo sex in my head, and a story that sort of featured those two personalities, only now she was a mute.
Mm-hmm.
The whole story was on a page of A4. And it never really shifted. I mean, I did 12 drafts of I abused my master's degree to have amazing notes and quite brutal notes from the John Finnegan who runs that course, and my peers.
Not the cough syrup for going to sleep.
No. And then so I had a good script, and then there was a moment where I just pressed go in my head.
Yes.
And that was going on the recce. A year ahead to Lanzarote.
There's a great behind the scenes of that video on YouTube.
Well, there's about to be a feature-length documentary.
I always think that's a really
coming
good idea.
out with BAFTA and Emmy-winning documentary makers.
And this was your trip on your year before you made the film to recce the location.
Yes, which was just me and Elliot on a cut out the coupons from the back of the sun type holiday to recce this place, see if it was doable, and go to the carnival, because there's a carnival in our film. And so I had to go on the exact date the year before. It's only on one day, and I'd written, that they turn a corner and there's a crappy carnival, with someone dressed as Mr. Blobby and Teletubbies, and it was just rubbish. And
is that because you thought it was going to be
but then we went to recce it, and it was fantastic.
Yes, it was amazing.
So we shifted it, and that is how you get a film made. Because of that, I had a flag in the sand. I had no budget. I had no clue. But I was like, okay, this happens on March the 7th next year. That we have to be shooting here.
Wow.
Then, so I had a flag in the sand. That's what I tell people when they're like oohing and ahhing and, we're just waiting. And the deal was, whoever I got in my crew and cast, if things got in the way, better paid work as it does, and, then we don't wait for them. We don't wait for anyone. We are turning
when
over
you're shooting.
March the 4th or whatever it was.
I think there's another side to that that's equally as important as the flag in the sand side, which is also that you're showing anyone that wants to invest in the film or join that you aren't just a guy with another script out of millions. You're someone that's taken a flight. You've gone somewhere. You've met the people. You've got something visually to show them. This is a place. This is where a story is happening. And it makes the whole thing so much more real and so much more personal and so much more joinable than just looking at some words on a paper that anyone could write from their,
We owe so much to these documentary makers who, unbelievably, he happened to want to make a thing about low-budget film, and I bumped into him. When are you going on this recce? And I told him, and he went, well, can we come? I went, I have no budget. So he went, no, tell us where you're staying. Well, we got out there they were. His cameraman's an Oscar winner, for God's sake.
Wow.
And they were there, and they followed. I said, really? It's just me and my nephew, just like, we don't know what we're doing.
Or saying,
no. And then I said, what kind of documentary are you making out of this? He went, I'll edit something. He edited a 15-minute thing when we got home, sent it to me. Get this. I didn't believe in my own film till I watched his 15-minute edit of our recce madness.
Oh.
And then I went, I've just sold my film to myself.
Yeah.
I'm in. And this, the feature-length documentary is out. It's previewing, because it's not quite finished, at the Cheltenham Film Festival on October the 5th. And I'm terrified because he's a proper documentary maker. And of course, not to get into it too much because I just won't, but in the edit for Signs of Life, the star of the film, the incredible actress Sarah Jane Potts, decided our 12-year marriage was no longer for her and went on to pastures new. So I was in the edit, heartbroken, and they came to visit the edit, the documentary makers, to get a bit of the edit. And of course, they saw my sallow face and my
tears,
just exhausted, and I wasn't laying it on with a trowel. I was getting on with the job in hand, but they went, all right, what's going on? And of course, they're amazing
like,
real documentary makers.
Gold.
You never notice. You never,
like, oh my God.
Is it
never
now.
notice when
Oscars.
they put the radio mic on you, and they don't seem to ever change the batteries.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 hours since they put it on. You forget. You forget they're so brilliant at getting you to talk. So I slightly overshared, and he couldn't hide the light going on in his eyes as a documentary maker. It's like, we have an act 3.
Yeah.
So this documentary will be. It's totally. There's no like bitchiness at all. I hope it's all about. It's a journey in how art affects your life and how life affects your
And your
art,
wife.
I think. And your
And your
wife.
wife.
It should have been called Signs. It's called Waking Slowly.
Oh, is it?
Okay,
Okay.
interesting.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
A
Okay.
journey in...
Journey in pain. So, right. So you've now chosen your date. Let's go there.
Yeah.
You've chosen your date. Your wife at the time is playing the lead, so
it's
you
really
know
You've
that.
got your sandcastle and your flag in it.
Yeah, and you're ready. So how did you then go about spending the next year or even less getting your film ready to shoot?
Okay, well, obviously I had to pay rent and do things, but
Okay, and
no
brush your
joke,
teeth and
the Filmmakers Podcast and things like it. But really, the Filmmakers Podcast...
Whoa. Let's just remove that.
Yeah,
Things
we-
like
we-
it.
we-
There is
soundbite.
nothing
There
like
is
it.
nothing
And
like
there's
it.
nothing like it.
Soundbite, here it comes.
Yeah, the Filmmakers Podcast was my line producer film school.
wow.
Because
We got
I
it,
just-
guys.
Got
Thanks
it.
for coming
We got
back.
it.
I went hoovering. You've no idea how...
Really?
You would laugh if you knew how many times I literally finished an ep, went back, and the second listen I'd have a notebook and pen.
Wow.
First one I'd let it just
Wow.
go in.
I need to know what some of the favourites are. I
Well,
have to know.
basically, I can tell you any episode in the last sort of
With
3
me
years
in
that
it.
said in the title that said low budget or indie.
Oh,
Yeah.
And what I would do is
Not
wait
dumbs.
for the bit where you can ask me as well and someone else, hopefully. There was always a bit when, is there anything you'd do different next time? And those are so I was like, right, I've got a Sharpie. And so time after time after time, people talked about, oh, I wish I'd thought about the end of the process at the start. As simple as post, some people, but other people were like, I didn't realize you have to pay lawyer fees. I didn't realize. I was like, thank you. And anything that I knew nothing about, I had a whiteboard that was called the idiot board, and
Very
everything I
big
knew
board.
nothing at all about was there in capital
Is
letters.
that the one with Dom and Giles's faces on in your house?
No, that's the dartboard. That's the dartboard. That's the dartboard. Yeah, it's a shock seeing your faces.
No, I mean that's amazing because look, I'm merely a tourist, but
Taurus?
A Taurus.
You're a Libra.
but
Sorry, Dom, got there
but I
before
can
you.
be the outside eye here. Giles and
Pink
Dom,
eye.
Yeah.
like you need to pat yourself on the back because
True.
you know you're making this podcast and you're doing this and you're inspiring people like Joe to make films like this, and I think that's absolutely
It's
fucking
absolutely
amazing.
true.
Thank
But
you.
as a line producer, so I did, there's that brilliant viral video of someone's credits and like
Oh,
the
yeah.
crowd
Oh, yeah,
went mad 'cause
15, yeah.
there's like 50 credits for this guy.
They go, yeah.
I'm not joking. We counted the credits I could have had on this film, and it's literally him. I did everything, but main one being line producer. But you know what I can't organise my lunch in my own life, but when I had this film to make, I did weird things. Like I had a call sheet template.
You'd lick
I
it.
started the call sheets. Yeah, well, nearly. I started a year in advance on the call sheets
Wow.
because I've been an actor 30 years. It helped me imagine the days. It was the way I could visualize how a day worked. So I must have done 100 drafts of the call sheet to work out how to line produce it, and then everything else. And then the money was a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
I
talk about
budgeted it. I budgeted it exactly. What I did was haggle
That's
with
also
everyone.
kind of going into, I mean, it's back to going to the location recce and whatever. You're basically like, you're putting everything else into the film's already being made, like by doing those things. Like you've got the schedule. I mean, that's like the nearest thing to a shoot that you can get. There's a whole like imagination and thinking is doing sort of element to that as well. It's probably not even
the screenplay to the shoot as opposed to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But basically, for 365 days, that's quite a few days. Every single day, something had to happen that concretely helped my film.
Right.
And I would sometimes get to 5 to midnight and go, nothing's happened towards the film today. So I would go back into all my bits of paper and solve another problem. There was something happened every day, be it financial, be it another little piece of the puzzle for post or whatever that I'd at least got a meeting with. And then just being really brave with my haggling with people. And we didn't take the piss out of anyone, but effectively it was union minimum rates. I looked into what they were. We were insured. We paid people. But the deal was, look, you're going to have a great time, and you're not used to being head of department. You will be head of department because you will be the department.
Yeah, that's it.
Apart from camera, we had a whole camera assistant, but he was also in the film. He'd also acted, so he played the young, scary thug guy.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
camera
Oh,
assistant.
nice.
Yeah.
I wonder what
Everyone
that
had
shiny
2
circle
jobs.
thing in his pocket was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a camera.
Putting focus on himself.
No, thank God. Elliot Millson can also rack focus in the most unbelievable moments.
So
on his own.
important.
Incredible.
What were some things that you couldn't save money on? Because because first of all, let's talk about what the currency's like in Lanzarote, and like, because I mean, paying people those union rates in itself sounds like that's your budget. So like, I'm interested, like, where you must have saved money from.
Not really. If you think about it, basically 2 actors that are on an actual fee rather than a daily fee.
Got it.
It's a 2-hander effectively.
Yeah.
So that, it's a trip to Lanzarote and $2,000 in your pocket in advance, and your agents hate us, but there's also 5 points, and they're both extremely, and even including my wife, you'd think I got a freebie.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
She had an agent. And she's a
add
real
that
actor.
onto the divorce.
Nor would I have done a freebie. What is that film without Sarah Jane Potts' performance? And she's incredible.
She is incredible.
So
not only have you learned so much from the Filmmakers podcast, just dropping that in again, just to make sure.
True though.
It's on your
so
the idiot board. I think it was called the Filmmakers podcast.
Okay.
It was on your idiot board, the Filmmakers podcast. But anyway, no. So you'd learned all this.
I think you're on the credits.
I am.
Wow.
I am. Yeah,
You are, but I think the podcast might be.
Is
If
it?
it isn't, it
I
should
better be on the credit.
It fucking better.
You're on the credits.
Me and Phil
I
are
think the
definitely in the
podcast
I'm
back.
close
might
to
be.
leaving the room.
If it isn't, I don't
Well,
know
have you helped?
how I didn't do that.
I think it is.
Wow.
I think it might
I
be.
think it might be. That's
Yeah.
really kind of you.
But
Right, so you've done that, and every day you're trying to do something to get your film made. What were the things that, as Dom has said,
What was expensive? Yeah.
it was expensive. Let's get
so
to that.
what was expensive? I guess we're filming abroad, so even though people are only on 150 quid a day or whatever, you've got to have. Of course, we were canny. I will say, I was canny.
You were canny.
Our location was also the accommodation for most of us. It looks like a 1-bed bungalow as you watch the film.
Yeah.
It actually had 3 bedrooms downstairs and other bits to the building, but we shot them out. We actually had to put up fake wall in one place to hide the stairs.
Stare today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a big thing, but that went wrong, just before we lost a place. The perfect location we had, and turned out it wasn't perfect because we got an even more perfect. They rang me and said, "This never happens. You're coming in 4 weeks." And they rang me as a holiday maker. Yeah. We're so sorry because I know you told us it's a big family thing.
Did you not tell him you were filming?
Nope.
Oh.
Anyway, they said, "We're so sorry. He's just suddenly sold the house. And it's peak season, so I'm afraid there's nowhere. Could you come back next year?" I was like, "No." And I cried down the phone to this woman from whatever company it was. And she went, "Look, I'll get back to you. And she worked wonders. Found out, she said, "I'm so sorry. It's in a very different area. It's this and this." And I flew out on my own. I spent like £200 on one night over there. And it was an amazing 48-hour trip. It was a better location than the other by miles. It was just a better deal. She got us an amazing deal because she was so sorry. So I ended up saving money. Anyway, and it was nearer everything, all of this. Anyway, the expensive bit was obviously post, really.
Yeah.
Not as expensive as the film, but things you cannot scrimp on are sound. So I got an amazing sound designer who I worked with on a zombie movie in India in 2010 or something.
Of course you did.
He was the boom op in India on this zombie film, and I loved him, called Rob Davison. So I phoned him and went, "Hey, Rob, do you want to come and operate on this film in Lanzarote? It's not much money, but, and sound design as well, because I know you were getting into sound design last time I saw you." And he's like, "Yeah, I kind of do sound design on things like Succession now." I live in Copenhagen as well, and I'm I've got a lovely life here, and I'm doing really well.
But thanks for
I
staying
don't
in
need
touch,
to do an
Joe.
indie film. I went, "Yeah, so anyway, it's 3 weeks in Lanzarote and I can give you, this
Good
money
for
and that
you.
money, but I want you to operate." He went, "Joe, I don't own a boom anymore. I'm a sound designer."
But anyway, mate.
Anyway, so this is when we leave. I just wouldn't leave him alone.
Good for
And
you.
bless him, he said yes, and he had the time of his life, I think.
Oh, you hope.
And he did. But when we got into the sound design, he was going to do it. He'd done my short film as a designer, just as sound designer. And he said, "Joe, you have to get real Foley on this." I went, all right. And I didn't realise, even though he had mates in Copenhagen, we got mates rates. But of course, that's £4,000 I hadn't quite worked out. And then the score, we can get onto that in a minute. I have an Oscar-winning composer,
And
which is
Dudley.
ridiculous.
Yep.
Amazing.
And obviously, things like that you can't skimp on, and that's real musicians, cellists, violinists, and
you cannot. It's the recording cost and just getting them there.
Of course,
and musicians.
And the proper. Well, that is where when I said I don't know what I believe in. If I promise you this is the short version, shall I tell you the story how I have a crazily good
if you can
composer?
Promise, yeah.
If I told you that the long version's an hour, then the 5-minute version you're going to get. So my whole thing of when I said I knew all the bits I knew nothing about.
Yeah.
One of them was music score. Now, my brother's a singer-songwriter. I wanted to use one of his songs I knew at the end of the film, even though he was with a record label, so I still had to haggle a price for that. He said he'd never scored a film. He went, I'll have a go. And great. It'll probably be plonky guitar, beautiful, lovely. So I was doing a play in the West End as an actor,
of course,
during this prep time called Noises Off, where I was falling down a set of stairs every night.
It's great,
so good.
So great fun.
Honestly.
Yeah, I'm still
worried
injured.
for your health now.
I still have hamstring trouble. But I just had so ever present in my head the missing bits of this film thing.
Yeah.
I came out of stage door one day and there was a woman who'd come to see Felicity Kendall in the show or something, not me. And I went, Anne Dudley, you're Anne Dudley. You're Anne Dudley. Anne Dudley. And she went, yes, who are you? And I said, you might not remember, you wrote the music for a play I did at the Old Vic years ago, and we met one night.
Cool.
And she went, yes. I said, can I have your email, please? Can I have your email? Just, I want to send you a question. And she gave me her email, like, who is this weirdo? Anyway, I sent her an email. I sent her my short film, a link to it, and the script. And I said, look, I'd just love to talk to you.
Yes, some advice.
And she went, all right, well,
That's
you have
right.
to come to my house. I'm doing she's not cross at all.
I'm doing
it's
a
a better
TED
story
talk.
if I'm like, she's terse. She wasn't terse at all. Come to my house.
Come to my house.
I'm very busy.
Don't
She wasn't like that at all.
Right.
And she organised. I went to the house, knocked on the door, and I am going to be honest, she was a little terse when she opened the door. Oh, yes, come in.
She'd
Went up
forgotten
to
you.
this beautiful studio, the screens where she wrote American History X and all of this stuff.
Wow.
And there's a fucking Oscar in a cabinet over there. And she said, well, what do you want? I said, well, not a lot. I said, my brother's going to I'm making a film. My brother's going to have a go at doing the score. He's never done it. When it's finished, can we just come to visit you for a few hours and you tell us where we've been totally rubbish and just a bit of advice?
Wow.
Oh, I suppose so. You'll have to. When will that be? I told her, and she said, "Well, yes." I said, "Can we put you on our credits as like music advisor? It would be amazing if we had like an Oscar-winning someone in it somewhere." And I saw her almost her heart drop, going, "Oh, someone else trying to, use my Oscar credit." Blah blah blah. She went, "Well, maybe." I went home quite happy.
Yeah, it's
great.
decent.
We might have an Oscar-winning
wasn't.
music advisor. Yeah,
She was
I
already
got an
home.
email.
By the restraining order.
2 days later, she sent me an email that said, Joseph, you came on Tuesday. I've checked our emails. You said you were coming on Thursday. I mean, there's being on time, then there's coming.
You've
3
got the
days.
day wrong.
Totally
Wow.
wrong. By 2 or 3 days.
So no wonder she was terse.
So she said, I like to be prepared.
Yeah.
I had not seen your film or read your script. She said, I've now watched your short film and thought it was very good. I've read your script twice and I love it, capital letters. Are you looking for investors?
Wow.
And
What?
So this is where it gets
Hold
really
the
weird.
phone.
This is where it gets weird.
Hold the filmmaker's phone.
We don't have any phones.
I said, no, underlined. Definitely not. But if you want to write the score, ... And she got back to me and said, well, we could talk about music later. Why don't you want investors? And we had a back and forth where I gave her my spiel about I have to be free to fail.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot on this. I'm going to do this with a Kickstarter campaign for 15 grand and I'm getting 2 Mark Duplass style credit cards and I'm just going to live with it and do it. It's just my responsibility. Well, come and have lunch with me and my husband and bring your budget.
Wow.
We don't understand how you're making this for the budget you told us. Bring your budget. I was like, well, all right. So I went for they made cake and we had a nice chat. They said, show us the
What
budget.
kind of cake?
It was Victoria
Don't
Sponge.
get distracted, John.
No, it's good. It's important.
And she said, you've got scenes in an airport. How are you doing this? I don't
the 2-hour
understand.
version.
I don't understand. And we talked it all through and they said, so how much are you doing on credit card? I said, well, I haven't worked it out exactly yet, but it's probably going to be like, I don't know, 15 grand. I'm just going to do it,
Yeah.
whatever it was. And they looked at each other. Well, we'd like to cover that. We'd like to invest. She said, I've never invested. I've never produced, but I think this film I love this script. I think it could be I said, no. And I turned her down about 5 times until they sent a contract from a lawyer that had special, like, hieroglyphically clear bit about we cannot interfere and another bit that was like more obvious than usual. We can't chase you for this money till the film's in profit, you idiot. I showed it to a friend of mine, director. It might have been you and someone else. I can't remember. I said, I'm really nervous. And everyone to a point, like James Hawes was one of them. And they all went, take the fucking money.
I think I said take the
I've
fucking
been
money.
thinking that for the last 10 minutes
But
of this
you have to
Playing hard
understand
to
how
get.
scared I was of being...
No, but that makes total sense.
He does.
Because, obviously, I've made movies that have big paymasters and big...
I would have
Right,
been
big time over
here.
Big time.
But there is a responsibility to that.
couldn't
And there's a
have
pressure to that.
I had to be
and,
free.
And there's a part of it by committing to that.
Yeah.
And this film would not be the film it is if you had had that. Because people got nervous. That, is she going to talk
Are you
eventually?
sure you can't do
Is there
that?
going to be this? Like, maybe we need this. And that starts getting in your head.
Would have been
and you don't
one
listen.
voice.
And you had it in your head that you were going to do this on your own. You didn't need anyone else.
No,
It's
that-
your
but
responsibility.
Funnily enough, the fact that you refused is
I think
so
that's
much
what
the
might have
reason
turned
why
them
they
on.
would have done
Yeah.
it. Because
Yeah.
that is like the perfect I don't need you.
You can only do that game if you mean it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's in
Yeah.
haggling for anything. You can't unless you're prepared to walk away. But it was reverse.
But isn't
It
that
was so it was so reverse.
But isn't
to
that
me.
interesting as filmmakers, right? If you are in your own power as a filmmaker
Yeah.
and your film and you're making it
You're
on
gonna
this
do it
date and
anyway.
you're doing it anyway, people then come to you and go, you don't need anyone else to make a film. And that you've just
And
proved this.
She said it was really the script, and I had honed the
And
script,
you as
and that was
well.
to save the money, maybe. But
No,
to
definitely.
save money, the script was already edited. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All the scenes that you might make it to the edit room floor had been cut in drafts.
Well, you'd already paid for
so I wasn't going to waste
to do
anything.
reviews.
Yeah, but then it turned out that Anne Dudley and Roger Dudley became these unbelievable friends, and they didn't. They don't need to do this. She did then end up doing a score that is just unbelievable.
Divine.
It's on Spotify now.
I've
as
got
a
notes.
thing. Yeah, good, very good. But she went
Sorry,
at their age. I'm not saying they're old, but they're a bit older than me. She's been in the business 40 odd years. They were going to evening classes at Rain Dance and stuff to learn about contracts and learn about this.
Should have listened to the
that all
podcast.
they ended up. Yeah, I did send them your way. They did listen to quite a bit.
Wow.
But they became like they loved. We went to classes together at Rain Dance and workshops and
Nice.
and they ended up. She quite liked doing contracts. I was like, I was going to do them, but thank God. So Anne was actually a proper co-producer. Didn't visit set. They could have. I said, you're welcome. They went, no, we'll leave you to make the film. And then in the edit, of course, I'd known them 6 months or something, and it was my 5th visit to their house. They went, come in here. There was a little hidden door, and in there is a 5.1 mixing studio. I mean,
Wow.
unbelievable.
Do you know what?
And Roger is an engineer, so we had a engineer.
As much
in
as
the
you've
kit
said,
well.
Can I
this
just
isn't-
say that
this
that wasn't a short story?
No,
That was.
I liked
Do you want
it.
to hear the long one?
Great.
it was a
It was a
great
fantastic story.
And he told you
You
what
are
the,
right.
Anyone
the type
who's
of take
listening
was.
who has ever met me before or gone to a pub with me will tell you
Try
that is a
directing
short
him.
version. Yeah. Quiet, please.
Can I?
No.
Wait, just before that, hold that
You
thought.
can't.
Just want to say, this is amazing. Look what you've just achieved. And for those listening out there right now, isn't that incredible that you can just do that and then see what happens by just asking? For one, you said, Anne, I just want your advice. And look what came of that. And we as filmmakers are often so scared, especially when you're starting out, to ask for advice or help. And the amount of people I say, and we've all said it on the podcast, come and reach out. We're at go to events. We're at screening tonight. Come and say hello and ask for advice. And people don't. And look what you've done, Phil.
Yeah. No, it's just I was going to say almost exactly what you're going to say, and to those people listening,
better.
It's all advocate.
I've heard a version, and now I can make it better. No, but I just think like the people chasing, the application forms and the want of money, and you're wasting your life.
Yeah.
I agree.
Go and put all that energy into this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Networking.
Says Phil on the big budget films.
No,
but Phil's done for nothing.
But hey,
as well.
I came from this.
Yeah.
I made very small movies to grow. And when I say it's personally inspiring to me is that
Borrowers.
I'm now in that place where I'm chasing the bigger budgets, the bigger cast,
Yeah.
the schedule and stuff. And I'm like, I just kind of want to go and make a 50 grand movie.
can.
Like I just
you
want to go
can.
and make a movie.
I hope you do.
Yeah, and it's
then go
very
back.
inspiring. Can I just bring it back to SJ?
Yeah.
Who's
Sarah
an actor
Jane Potts.
I've also
Yeah.
worked with.
Yeah.
Because I think the film is absolutely, there's a confidence to the film as a first-time filmmaker.
There is.
And look, you're a super experienced actor. You've worked with, James Hawes on, on the amateur, Martin Campbell,
and James
Joseph
Bond.
Phil
Yeah.
Hawkins, Prancer, Chris's Tale.
Yeah.
And from all these, but like, do you think you being an actor and understanding performance is how you gave the stage or gave the room for SJ to give this kind of performance.
And David Ganley.
And David Ganley.
Sorry, of course, he's amazing.
No,
but what I'm saying is, his dialogue and everything is great.
Yeah.
But what is brave about the film is the fact that your protagonist doesn't talk.
Yeah.
And that is, and the first time I watched the film there wasn't even any music on it.
Right.
And I was completely drawn in. And I think that is super confident and super ballsy to make a film like that. And can you just talk to being on set, directing that?
Yep.
How that kind of looks on the page. Yep. And then also just having those kind of balls of steel to go, I think this will work.
It's really interesting because I had to write a thesis for my master's, and I happened to do silent protagonists in cinema and studied everything from Shape of Water to Gromit in Wallace and Gromit. Silent. And I grew up addicted to silent, to Harold Lloyd specifically.
Oh,
he's
great.
He's my bag.
He's great.
On set, it was really interesting. I've known David Ganley 25 years. I knew Sarah Jane. I wrote this
intimately.
Yes,
you said it,
and I knew, but I know her acting intimately. I've acted with her 11 times.
Yeah. Wow.
We've done 4 films and endless televisions together and all sorts of stuff. I knew her. I love working with her, but I knew what she was capable of and how brilliant she was. But still, it was a very specific and interesting. I would never normally do this, and if I direct again, I won't do this maybe, but because she doesn't have any verbal dialogue, it would have been very easy. We only had a little rehearsal each night before the next day. That was our rehearsal. We'd quickly go, right, and also I taught them through their costume tracks that I'd done, their makeup tracks that I'd done, and check they had everything in a bag for the next day because it was their responsibility to get it on the bus, which I drove. But our rehearsal would go, and on set, I would say, look, I'd never normally do this, but I read the scene aloud for cast and crew, all 5 people, and I would read the haiku poem stage direction out loud because it would say she adjusts her coffee cup. And normally you wouldn't worry about that, but this is her dialogue. Her, when she picks up the book and the pen, is what other people talking to someone who doesn't speak. That is a sentence said, so it matters. And what would happen if you just ran the dialogue and her listening in a rehearsal? We'd miss all those beats where David needs to notice. She's hello.
Entered the room. Wow, that was full.
That was very exciting.
Hi.
We're just halfway through a podcast. Are you able to wait a bit? Thank you.
We've got the recording line.
Who knew?
Is this Josh or Ion?
Okay.
Are you Josh? Oh,
okay.
JP Labatt, great name.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks,
you, my friend.
Thank you.
See you in a bit. Thanks.
Very important that we knew that as well.
That was weird, and the way you said it. Do you mind, we're just doing.
We're in the middle of
Owner of the building.
filmmakers
Like,
podcast.
it's my building, mate.
We probably should have this out. Where were we?
Yeah,
this was great.
Anyway, so it was really odd, but I would actually read things out loud just to make sure we're all on exactly the same page and no beats were missed. And for Sarah Jane, they were her lines when she chose to move. Well, I was very prescriptive actually,
like
because otherwise, and I'd imagined it. They were all worth. I wrote the script. There was nothing that wasn't conscious. And it is literally, what's mad is a friend of mine did the German translations recently. And
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
yeah. And said it was kind of uncanny reading the script and watching the film. She'd never known something so exactly what's on the page.
But that's incredible because it seems so effortless and everything was told as directors is to see what the actor wants to do. But I suppose when that is your dialogue, when that is your storytelling, you have to, that's your tool as a director to communicate to the audience. I'll tell you something
interesting for directors. If you have a scene where a character doesn't speak, so Sarah Jane's instincts are amazing, but what I did, I let the actors do their take first with moves where I wanted them, but totally their thing. And Sarah Jane's a brilliant actor, but quite often her character feels uncomfortable or whatever, and you can't see this, it's audio, but she would look away and think over here while he's talking or whatever. There were kind of tics and things, and there'd be a couple of those takes, and I knew somehow, I said, that's brilliant, we've got that's probably done. For me, can we just do a weird experiment where we do a whole take where you just look at him feel whatever you're feeling, but I need to see both your eyeballs. Just so that I can cut to it if I need it, because I've got a feeling as you're not speaking, I might need 2 eyeballs as an audience member. And that is almost always the take we use.
No, it is. And that's the stuff that's seared into your brain when I think about the film watching.
Yeah.
That's the stuff you go, oh, wow, because she looks away.
Yeah.
It's almost like she's
It's a
peering
huge
into our
statement.
soul.
It's a statement. Yeah.
Whereas
She does start to look unsympathetic the more she... We did one cut with sort of SJ's first takes, because they're all brilliant. But it turned out the one where she was giving the eye contact, it's amazing if you haven't got dialogue as an audience. You need... One eye isn't enough. I don't know what we do for those one-eyed actors.
So what were some of the things that she came up with that were sort of her own interpretation? Because obviously that you've done an astonishing amount of directions, and you've got this like wonderful vision of how the acting kind of and the character unveils. But like, what was her interpretation that was outside of that? Because that would be interesting to know as well.
Well, interestingly, I think the magic she brought that's unique, or whoever had played the part, it sounds obvious this, but the internal mechanics were only hers and were deep and fathomless. For instance, in this film, anyone who hasn't seen it, she has some ashes, there's some grief, and someone has died. I never told, and I like the audience to make their own mind up about who that is exactly. It was like one of the last days of shooting before she asked me, or I asked her, who do you think's in there? And her whole story of who was dead and what the thing was blew my mind.
Was it you?
Nothing like mine. Yeah, it was me, exactly.
for now.
But it was really amazing. And she'd actually sewn up all these links to water that I hadn't thought of, that were quite amazing. And she said, is that right? That's right. That's what you've written, right? And I went, yep. Because
exactly,
of course it is, if that's what you see in the script. But also she did things like, there's a scene where she does try to scatter the action. She can't. She's a traumatic mute, but she's trying to speak, and she's made a noise. The score is like, oh great, she's going to speak, and she mouths, "I'm sorry," but silently, "I'm sorry."
I was trying to do a peacock, but I couldn't get it out in time.
And I have to say that was not scripted. And I was looking at a monitor, and it was like 6 a.m, genuine sunrise. Yeah. And I was looking at a monitor, what did she just do? Yeah. What did she just do? Because the script just said she tries to speak, and she went, "I'm sorry." And it was fantastic. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. So that was one I just loved. There were endless things, but David Ganley as well. David had never, it's the performance. I mean, he is BAFTA worthy,
because he could, in a film that's so quiet and understated, he's got a really hard tonal balance to play.
Because he could be annoying. He could come across like a twat.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. That's what, even though he's playing this big gregarious character, he's not.
You care.
You do care for both of them. It's really impressive. What did you learn as a director that you will take forward? Because you will make another film as a director.
Well, I am, yes.
Please don't.
We have notes.
I've pressed go in my head on the next one, actually, just last week.
What are you going to take forward that you've learnt from this film now, looking back, that you will do differently on the next
what's
one?
a bit annoying that it went really well.
Yes.
And I think that is... So I am looking at the tricky second album,
We've all
unquestionably.
been there.
Because what I'm in that awful position is that I'm probably going to go, well, I must repeat the stuff that worked, which is a lot of it.
Right.
And maybe it won't this time. But unfortunately, that's all I've got in my backpack of experience.
You can go with.
So I will bring the same approach of over-planning. Me and Elliot will be prepped. We will know every shot, and then we're free to improvise, which we did a bit. He and I, we'd see things and go, "Hey, up, we better have that." And but we were super prepped. But I don't know. And interestingly, the next one does not have a mute protagonist. They're all talking, and there's a bit of gore and blood and stuff, and so it's a very different experience.
But what from it will you go, I did that well, or I did that badly?
Prep.
Yeah.
You did so much.
I'm starting now. It's like it's over a year away, and I'm starting. I am honestly. I've started messing around with schedules, prop lists, and
I think it
line
informs you.
producing.
It informs you as a director when you know that if you're going to use this Thursday Murder Club biscuit over these wonderful vegan
Thursday Murder Club.
cafe
Dinata
vegan
Sponsored the
custard slices.
Sponsored by Nata.
All right, I forgot my point now. I have no fucking idea.
It helps if
you
know what biscuits.
You know what biscuits.
But
you want.
do, because every single is. Do you want the blue ribbon or the red ribbon? It all lands on you.
But it also makes you intimately understand your story from different perspectives.
Yes.
Because we all do this thing of like, I need to read the script again. I need to read it again. But if you're just reading it from subtext, or you try and look it for camera and things like that, just doing a simple comb of like a prop list or a costume, and you go, oh God, yeah, actually,
how does he get from there
and
to
how
there,
does she get that thing? And maybe she should be wearing this, and it's
That's
a great way.
Oh, like even in Signs of Life,
script.
she communicates with a notebook and pen, and Sarah Jane and I both auditioned and taught what notebook,
auditioned the
pen.
notebooks. Oh,
we
wow.
auditioned the pens.
Wow.
Very interesting for sound. We eventually found the fine line Sharpie. There is a thinner Sharpie, and also the things looked really
This could have been the Reese's Pieces of your film versus E.T. Like, why do we not get some Sharpie sponsorship?
We should have.
Yeah.
We should have. We actually worked really hard to hide the logo, I have to say.
It's true, you've got to, because unless you've got permission.
Oh, we did all of that. Thank God for Elliot Millson, who's not just a genius, that he could do all the FX. So that's the other thing we saved money. I knew Now, he can edit like a dream, but he grades like a dream. He can do FX to a point, but he did a lot, way more than you believe. A nice drama set in Lanzarote. Oh my God, there was stuff to do.
I have a question.
He could do it all. He could do it all.
Editing. Now, because when I started to edit, I learned. At the time I was acting, I learned to be a better actor.
Yeah.
Certainly moving forward with directing, when you edit, you
But not that good.
But not, no, obviously not that
careful
good. No,
what you wish for.
I know exactly right. But
Looking
then,
at him now.
thinking, hey, thanks for podcast.
You know, it's great.
The podcast murders.
The vegan diet is everything.
The vegan diet's killing me. I love it. No, but the edit, when you go through the edit as a director, you see things not only as a director, but also for you as an actor. Again, the question is learning from that and going, did I need all those wide shots? Did I need all those close-ups? What did you take away from
really
that?
Annoyingly, this is the fastest feature edit the world's ever heard of. Charlie Lort Phillips edited this, who I've known forever. He's done my showreel for 25 years. And he's edited 2 or 3 films, but he runs the Bespoke Reel company.
Oh,
he's
the
like
Bespoke Reels.
Yeah, the best reels in London, you know.
One of them, yeah.
No, I'd say the best.
Allegedly.
He bespoke ill of that.
But we built the script, what you call an assembly, because we only had 2 or 3 takes of everything, and there's literally one tiny scene we cut. But other than that, the assembly was. You saw a roughish assembly.
Yeah. So I think your first
assembly,
wasn't second assembly
different.
No. It
so annoyingly, because
that is really
we shot it. So it is almost annoying for my learning curve because we didn't have loads of choices to learn about editing from. We sort of went, well, it's that one or that one.
Yeah, but
that means you've thought about it to a degree where you don't need to do pickups.
But being brave in the edit and the vision for the way that the silence and also the dialogue.
So I tell you what,
that's really important.
Took courage in the edit, and even Charlie, who got it. I was really nervous because we'd known each other forever. He was my showreel editor, but I'd been used to the short films doing with Elliot, and we're simpatico beyond belief and family, literally. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to go with Charlie. He really got it, you know. But even he was nervous about what I call the connective tissue. So it says in the script, the island is slowly coming to life, or it will say in the script, you know, the volcano watches on unamused. And we've got all these... That's how poetic my
googly eyes on the volcano.
We shot a lot
it worked for Anne Dudley. Let's not knock it. Okay?
These bits, when you got low score, because Anne Dudley insisted we had no guide music. Very, very top tip for working with good composers. Do not give them guide tracks.
Yes,
I disagree with this. But anyway, go on.
But she hates them. She hates them because no matter what, even if it's music she loves, she'll never. She finds it really hard to be truly original. And the whole element of it's not quite whatever the Vangelis wanted. Or
you don't want to push them too far.
So the whole film was silent, and there were whole sections of like a minute and a half of shots of a cat in the street and a boat going by and which I knew when it was built together. They say make the films you want to watch, and I love like Three Colours Blue and, you know, like lovely sort of European-y French or Russian films. They're my bag. I was like, I might only get to do this once. I'm making my film.
Good for you.
So it had these bits, but then even it wasn't till I saw the score over it. I knew it would work, but once that score, she said that's where the score could really speak, and the score could say, pay attention, this is a real film, you know. So that took guts in the edit.
Yes.
But even Charlie going, sure you want to use shots of volcanoes?
But the question
it's not pretentious.
No, it's not pretentious.
It's thematic. It is the theme.
And it feels very human as well. Yeah. And like, look, I've got a very short attention span and for things, and I think it's the humanity that comes across and the performances that really draw you in, and the fact that you show don't tell, literally.
Literally.
And also make us work for it.
Yeah.
There's points when she's writing in that book, and you don't know what she's written for the
you
whole
don't.
scene.
Yeah.
There's no
It's
reveal
more
of it. I'm
fun.
like, Joe, what
Well,
did
it's
she
funny.
say?
You're
Could
talking
be
about the
drawing
Thursday Murder Club.
could be drawing a naughty diagram. Or something.
Well, that's that. We did want to do some alternative edits where you then see she's just drawing a big cock.
Exactly.
I love detective things, and I grew up on Agatha Christie, and I think the audience. I want to flatter my audience that just they are intelligent, and so I want to give them puzzles to solve, and they feel like they're part of the film. Then, right? If you do backstory after backstory, and let's fill in all the blanks so that everyone's happy, you definitely understand. It's just insulting people's intelligence. So yeah. Sometimes I was very deliberate about when I showed the audience what she'd written. And other times it's more fun from looking at the other person's face, trying to guess what she's written.
Yes.
What was she writing?
Well,
I know exactly, and also that was scripted. What's mad is Sarah Jane. There were takes, and this is where I'd have hated working with me because bless her, she tried. Right, there was a take I think where she wrote something different to what I'd scripted that she wrote.
You went mad,
and I went, I'm so. Well, I didn't go mad at
No,
all,
of
but I went,
course.
it's no, it's lovely.
Yeah.
And all she'd done is written something like, isn't it nice here? Or, I don't know. She'd written something different. And I went, no, it's lovely. Because even though it's silent, that is what is said to him when he goes, yes, it is. Yeah. And for me, it won't ring right if you say, isn't it nice here? Yes, it is. It's lovely. And I was just like, you asshole. But for me, I was like, this is my only film. I'm going to be a control freak.
No, but do you know what? We have to be.
It's in the film. It's so precise.
When you've got this vision, and also when someone else isn't necessary, if it's just slightly different, you go, tell me why you want to do
that's
that.
Fine, completely.
Totally. But if you haven't got a reason for doing that, can it be this, please? Because this is why it connects.
Yeah.
And for you as a filmmaker, it's so important that we get these beats. Yeah. Otherwise, we get into the edit and we get afterwards and we go, why don't I just say something?
I think, it's a big gamble. The only reason I'd suggest the only reason it does work for those who... It's a funny film. If you're looking at your phone in the first 15 minutes, everyone I've sent the screener to...
Has looked at their phone in the first 15 minutes.
Well, no, I've said to them... I think I did it to you as well. I feel a bit of a dick, but I still do it. I go, it's a phones off, wine out kind of film. I can't help myself because I know... And I was in a cinema the other night before a Q&A, and I watched, it's genuine punters, and it's absolutely fine. But I watched various people still on their phones, toilet visits, and I was like, no, we're screwed. Yeah. Because if you don't click in, you don't, in the first 15 minutes, it's tricky. And that's a gamble. It won't be for everyone. I've had a few haters. It's absolutely fine.
But this is, we don't make it for those reasons. And what I love about what you've said is you made it for you. Yeah. It might be, but that's great. So, you're saying it might be my own film. It won't be. But you just never know, right? Yeah. So if you're going to do it and you're going to put your credit cards on the line, whether you did or didn't in the end, or Anne Dudley's, the fact is you did do it, and you did do the Kickstarter, and you did make this film, and you went, it's my fucking film, and I'm going to do it.
Sorry for Anne's inbox after this podcast, but
oh yes,
Anne is not actively taking
happened.
Investment.
Yeah. This has already happened. Anne has had. She told me her agent. She's represented as an Oscar-winning composer of music, and a very busy one at that, and quite an expensive one, I'd imagine. And her agent got in touch last week. Went, we've had some interest for you as a producer. Do you want us to pass it on? And I don't think it's a career switch for Anne.
But
I think it was a sort of one-off. No, and my next one is brilliant. I sent Anne the scripts of my next writer-director film, probably, and I've seen her 3 times since.
And
not a
still
word.
Saying no.
Not a word.
We know your
I will
trick.
take her silence as saying more than any words.
Signs of life.
No signs of life.
Yeah. Which is a perfect way.
I don't think it's her
thing. Yes, Which is a perfect way to sort of round this up, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah.
This has been so fun and so incredible.
What a film school.
And
I'm in my film school now with my tutors. And every director, I'm not just saying this either, I've still yet to be directed by you or you. But, I've worked with Phil, and every set I've been on has taught me, I love being on set, and my eyes are open and my ears are open. I didn't know, even Prancer time, I had no inclination of making films. I still don't want to switch careers at all. Writing, yes. If someone could wave a flag and I stop acting, just write, definitely tomorrow. Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
Directing is a kind of like, well, I'll do my own stuff. I've done one music video for someone. It was such a weird
Marvel
experience.
calling him up.
No, I've got no inclination to I haven't got a directing agent.
Second-year director.
I'm not like,
No,
but you guys are. I have learned from all of you.
Yeah, well, that's
guest,
But
so
as
lovely of
a
you.
director that worked with you as an actor, it was very clear that you understood the language of film. I mean, you'd done enough, right, to understand on massive levels. And just not to plug, but you've also written a book.
It's amazing. It's called Work, which is actually the first time I reached out to you officially. I think you'd reach out to me. It's called Work. It did work.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you?
But this is
hard work.
But it goes into the life of being a career working actor, and amazing stories from theatre and working on Casino Royale and all this stuff.
It's something we say on the podcast a lot as well. Is if you want to be a filmmaker, go on set, go be a PA, go be sweep the floor. Who cares?
I was
stand by the director.
So lucky when I was in my early 20s. I did 5 seasons of a ITV drama called Peak Practice. That's how old I am. I did 5 seasons of that thing, 49 episodes, and it was like 2.5 weeks per ep. Wow. Single camera, Super 16 film. And a lovely old experienced British crew with like focus with his lovely old leather focus pull, and
can't talk about
not
leather.
His face, yeah.
All right.
And I was awake. I still get lens sizes wrong in my head. Elliot thinks I'm hilarious, and I still occasionally will say the wrong thing.
Well, of course, that's okay. No, it doesn't.
But he
knows
knows
you
what
get
I
the
mean.
lens size wrong.
How dare you? But it's about understanding the language of it.
The language.
Because if you didn't understand the language of visual storytelling, you couldn't have made this film.
What I didn't realise, for 30 years of being an actor, what I didn't realise, I have always had better times talking to the crew than the actors, generally in my life. Mm-hmm. But what I didn't realise was they're having more fun than me.
Yeah.
They usually are.
Yeah, we are.
Crew are loving it.
It's more fun being the crew.
Yeah.
And not like my next film, I could act in it. There's a part that I kind of went, oh yeah, that is sort of right for me. No way. I'm not doing that.
That's what I said. I just stopped casting myself after the first one. I was like, this is shit. I'd
quite like to cast Giles.
Yes.
As what?
It would be a comedy role, but it would be like a touching family. It would be like a touching family drama sort of thing.
About plant-based.
Some flashback. He plays Piers Brosnan's dad.
Yeah.
Now that's a pitch.
Yeah.
Where's
your
he
accent.
from?
Well, anyway,
Love Piers.
He wasn't my Bond.
No. Oh no! I'm going to shout out for 007 Goldeneye. That was
it's good.
Oh,
Same
it's
director,
good.
Yeah, Martin Campbell.
Martin Campbell,
on the podcast.
Who's been on the podcast?
He's
He's
wonderful.
amazing. I saw him over in Bulgaria as well. Yeah, lovely man.
Very
lovely man.
He came up to me at the premiere of Casino Royale, and obviously I was amazed I got invited. I didn't know whether my 30 seconds would still be in it. He came up to me, he came bowling over. Martin Campbell, I hadn't seen him for a year, came bowling over. See, I told you you'd still be in the fucking film. You've got a fucking close-up.
One
I hadn't
close-up.
seen it at that point. They were going in.
You must have been delighted. Oh, fuck. I'm in a James Bond movie.
What a James Bond movie to not get cut out of.
And is the Amazon spin-off series coming about the hapless comedy failed agent?
I'm playing
running
it.
part.
I'm playing it.
Yeah, no, because
I was early stages. They said, "Are you available for this thing called Quantum of Solace? We want the same character back in." And they said, it was like a scene where he's got to go on a mission, and Bond says, "Who am I going with?" And they said Carter, and he's like, "Oh God, not him again." And I was like a John Cleese running bad agent gag, and really close to shooting. They cut about 12 pages. But what's weird is those scenes are still in the computer game of Quantum of Solace, and I voiced them. So my son's played it and gone, "Yeah, they're rubbish, Dad."
You were shitting them.
They were right to cut them.
Right, this is amazing. Signs of Life
thank you.
is on cinemas now, touring
digital
round.
soon.
When is that? Can you release
6th of October.
6th of
the
October.
usual, and then other countries soon as poss. Tell people you want it. Yes, but do take a risk. Come and see a little tiny uplifting film.
No, you should listen. If you're listening to this podcast and you don't watch this film, then go fuck yourself.
Ooh.
No, but I mean it. It's about supporting indie filmmakers. We do this for nothing. We do this for love. We do this to support indie filmmakers. If you're listening to Joseph now, talking all this time, and there's a long stories in there. If you've got through this,
Part 7,
you
Signs
need
of Life.
to go watch Signs of Life 7. You need to go watch Signs of Life.
And the sequel will be Signs of Osteoporosis.
More than signs. Listen, thank you. First of all, let's thank Phil Hawkins for joining us.
Ooh.
He's literally been filming
Housewife's
an advert
favourite.
today.
Yeah, we're filming
Housewife's
Race Across
favourite.
London.
It's Housewife's favourite. Raced across London to get here in time to not eat a biscuit for the Thursday Murder Club, but did have a little vegan cookie. And to the amazing Dom Lenoir Lenoir, who I haven't seen since Tiffin, since I've been in Bulgaria. So it's lovely to see you.
Giles, who
lovely
has
face.
just wrapped shooting another film.
Another feature
I
film.
have indeed, yes.
And well done, Giles.
Well done.
Well, thank you. Bravo.
Hang on,
bravo.
what I'm really upset about. Wait,
What?
I've been in an episode of this and you haven't mentioned the dare.
Oh,
He's just done it. Drink.
there we
I'm drinking.
go.
It's
drink,
we almost got
drink.
3-1.
We almost got. I would have done it in the intro, mate. Don't worry. No, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. But yes, a massive thank you for Joseph Millson for coming on, talking about his experience. We could have talked for hours, and Joseph probably would have.
We did.
We would have talked for
I would have talked for hours. Signs of Life. Go watch it.
Thank you.
And if you are lucky enough to rise up and do well, it is your duty too, Joseph.
Send that elevator straight back down.
Yes, he is a fan.
He is a fan.
Wasn't
He's watched it.
lying.
No.
He wasn't lying. He has listened.
Done it. Can you? I'll hold the cue card high next time.
The sign
Yeah.
of life. We will see you next Tuesday, as always, when I think we've got a Dirty Boy special, by the way.
Have we?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think we have. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got Doug and the team on.
Shout out.
For what? Do it now.
Our distributor, who's been amazing.
Do it now.
Bulldog
it's still
Films.
live.
Bulldog
we
Films
love
have
Bulldog.
been beyond brilliant.
That's good. Tell us why quickly.
They're also a deodorant.
There you go. That's the main reason they smell good. Philip Hoyle at Bulldog Films has just gone over and above the sort of what you dream about. You know, it's not about money. It's about just the time they've put in. And we're in 20 cinemas because he's on the phone talking to people all the time. And they've just been very grown up. There's a whole nother story. I pursued them. You know, I signed my emails stalker. I pursued
Did you actually
them.
put stalker?
Yeah. I just guessed his email. Third time lucky. I refused.
Use
I
Hunter.
knew they were going to be able to.
By the way, little tip for people: use hunter.io. You can find people's
Oh, there you
emails
go.
that way.
But I pursued them and wasn't going to give up. And God bless them. Eventually, you know,
good for
they
you.
gave in. Yeah.
Again, this is what indie filmmaking is about. And look where you are now, 20 cinemas deep.
Baby.
And with an amazing film as well. But that's also why people like you and people respect you, not only for you and your ability and your talent, but also because you've gone out there and you've made something brilliant. And that's why it's doing really well. So congratulations.
The script.
Get out, Joe.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
go
Joe,
on.
listen,
Get
we've
out.
got a
Go on.
screening to
Come
get
on.
to. So
Yeah.
we will see you all next Tuesday. Oh, I'll thank myself, Giles Alderson, and you lot can all.
Give you a thanks to you.
Give you a thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. I actually
I
got
don't
maybe
think
not a
you
name
did.
check.
I don't
Maybe
think
not a
it
name
was.
check.
No,
I
I
think
thanks,
you're right.
Giles.
No.
Midway through.
Thanks, Giles. We've all been
I don't
managing
think
the
it was a full name
podcast.
check.
We've all been managing the podcast for months while Giles has been away filming.
it's
But
true.
Giles has swan back in. And the hero of the day.
Hero of the
He wants his thanks.
He's cutting this out.
I am cutting all this. I've got to edit this motherfucker.
I know.
There is
Let's
that.
stop talking.
I've just
Right, okay,
sworn.
let's
right,
go.
yeah.
Cut it off.
Right,
Okay.
right. Bye. See you next
Bye.
Tuesday.
Adios.
You'll go make your films.
Yeah.
That's the last thing to say.
Or don't.
Go out there, make your films, make it happen, just as Joseph Millson has done. It's so important. You go out there and do that because that's what you believe in. So go do it. All right, take care. Bye. Drop the mic. Power.